Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time to join us on this very exciting call. My name is Verdita Monk. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. My husband and I are senior presidential directors with LifeWave, and we're part of the Ken and Lynn Robinson's team. And we just wanted to reach out to everybody this morning to just try to get everyone on the same page as we are. Everybody just, let me see, somebody is. Let's see, save, sorry. Wait a minute. My God. We need to be in English here. Something is going on with my computer. Is telling me we're switching us to Spanish. Uh-oh. Sorry. Let's see if I can get this straight. Something popped up and tried to convert us into Spanish. Sorry about that. What I wanted to do, you guys, is bring us all together because some exciting things are happening with LifeWave, and we just want to make sure that everybody's winning. And so we're going to get right into a team rally. And the purpose of this rally is really to improve communication among the team. As you know, Ken was our leader, and Lynn is also the leader, but we're wanting to make sure that everybody is pulling together, ensuring everybody's on the same page. One thing about a team rally in the going forward is enhanced collaboration, aligning everyone's efforts toward a common objective. And that objective is really to make us shine, allow us to win. As a team, we want everybody to win. So stronger communications is going to be an attempt to create a sense of belonging and personal connection among team members, leading to increased loyalty and support. Just feeling like you're loyal to a team, to a brand. That's basically what I'm trying to say here, is allowing us to feel connected to something huge. And we're going to try to project that idea of something huge and belonging as we go through this conversation today. Again, boost team spirit and motivation. Let's work as a team to achieve goals and ranks, okay? So what I wanted to do, a couple of nights ago, I had the opportunity to be on a senior presidential director call, and a couple of announcements that were made, and you will receive those announcements in your email probably tomorrow night. That's when they normally do it, is on Sunday nights. And so one thing that's the foundation of the whole team growing is always that manager level. The manager level is the core level. So what the company is trying to do is lead us into a direction of understanding the significance of everybody winning, but everybody advancing as well. And so they're leading us to some activities early on before the national convention in October to help us get to where we need to be. So they're going to be announcing tomorrow night a manager rank advancement bonus, and that bonus will last all the way through August of this month. Okay, so normally something like this is just a week, or just some type of promotions like this, but it's going to be pretty much a month. And when that person hits manager, they're going to be awarded $100. That's significant because that never happens. And then the person that enrolled them, $50. That's really significant. So, and then the second announcement that they're going to be making is the cruise incentive trip. There's a cruise that's going to take place next February 8th through the 13th, and the qualification period starts Monday. So it's going to last for 11 weeks, and it's going to, that'll be October the 19th, right before the convention. And then as we get recognized, you guys, as people get promoted to director, senior director, executive director, on down, on up, we're going to be able to, be badged when you get to the convention. They're going to have a badge on you recognizing your rank. Some people are going to get a chance to walk across the stage, and you want to make sure this happens before September the 14th, because it's because they do give out awards. They do give out crystal plaques and things like that. And, that won't happen if you're not recognized by September the 14th. And now, one thing they wanted to, so many people are asking, when is the new compensation plan going to be coming out? Well, they've been encountering some technological challenges, And one thing that Meredith Burkhardt, who's our president, said is, we are not going to ever do anything until we are completely ready. We don't want the back office having any technical issues. We don't want anything to fall through the crack as far as commissions, anything like that. So they have said that the release of Compensation 2.0 is going to be released after the convention. Okay, so all the ranks that we are familiar with, those are the ranks they're gonna be sustained all the way through the end of the convention. So please work towards getting to those ranks so that you could be recognized. Now, what we're going to do in a minute is I'm going to allow some of our top leaders to come on and share some tips to elevate your business and our team. But one thing I want to start out by saying is this: the vision here is to help everybody win. So I'll give you an example. There's a person on our team that has been very, very close to executive director for several weeks now, like probably 2 or 3 months. And it really, I mean, so close that it could be a matter of, 20 people placing a $100 order, something like that. A couple of weeks ago, I heard a couple on Stephen Gina's Monday Night Call. They had hit senior presidential director 1 week before the convention last October. And the way they did that, they reached out to their team and said, listen, you guys, we're so close to SPD. We need your help. And the whole team, looked at what they could do to help promote somebody. Maybe somebody needed to get a couple of customers, whatever. All their volume rolled up, but they were so excited to help their leader get to that level. They put together as a team. What we're wanting to do is make sure that, like within your organization, if you see somebody, that's close to some type of rank, pull together and rally around that person, show excitement amongst your team. And all of us are going to end up winning. So this is not about us as top leaders saying, hey, let's help us get to a certain rank. I'm not saying that. I'm saying all of us need to win. We want to see everybody get a chance to walk across the stage. We want to see everybody get a chance to go to that cruise. We want to see everybody get the bonuses that we're talking about. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop my screen. And the first person I want to bring up to share some insight on how to elevate your business and your team, and with the mindset of everybody winning as a team, maintaining a brand and being proud of our team. So the first person I want to bring up is Mr. Chris Oliver. He is an executive director for now in the Houston area. Chris has a whole history of success in the network marketing industry and has reached the top of several companies. So he has a lot of insight. I can't wait to hear what he's going to say. So I'm going to stop my screen and ask Mr. Chris Oliver out of Houston, Texas, to come on and share some insight.
All right. You sure you want me on now at this time?
Yes, I do. Well, I didn't see Reggie. I'm sorry. I didn't see Reggie. Let me see if he's here.
All right, because we do have Z.
Yeah.
I can go ahead though. I can definitely.
Yeah, please go ahead, because I didn't see Reggie when I was making everybody co-host. Sorry about that.
Oh, not a problem. Not a problem at all. First of all, definitely Verdita, Mark, we definitely appreciate what you bring to the table, the leadership, also being an SPD, doing it and making it happen when you came in. And also definitely has a heart of gold of helping people, understands the industry from the inside out. And also she's making some serious money, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I could tell you exactly that number, but it will entice most of y'all to go to work much harder. But definitely appreciate that. So with that said, this morning, definitely will not be long, but always anything we do, we're going to come on strong with it. So as you're listening this morning, we're at a particular point in life where this is the second half of 2025. And so you got to actually evaluate this game and understand that at halftime, are you ahead or are you behind on your goals? And with 1 month already gone out of the second half of this year, this is like the third quarter. What are you going to actually make this year work, and how are you going to make it work for you, and that needs to be with massive momentum. So I'm going to go back to a little bit of mix of Michael Jackson, and we're going to talk about the ABCs right quick. And so when he says ABC as easy as 1, 2, 3, well, what does really ABC mean in our business? That is always be closing. So that means anything you open up, think about it as a child, that when you literally got up in the morning, you open up a refrigerator. We were taught by our parents, if you open it up, you're supposed to close it. You open a door, you're supposed to close it. You open up anything, you're supposed to actually close it. So in our business, when you open up a connection with a person, you pique their interest, how are you closing? Because remember that closing, the fortune is going to be in the follow-up, ladies and gentlemen. So that means that if I pique a person's interest, now, next thing is, did I get them on This Is In Info? Did I also take the individual and make sure that they've seen a couple of testimonials? Next step, did I get them on a presentation so they can see the opportunity? Once I get them on a presentation, that's not it yet, because that's where it just starts, ladies and gentlemen. The next part to that, how's my follow-up? Am I following it up? Am I collecting a decision? Because if I'm ABC, always be closing, I have to go for the close, and I cannot be bashful about it. Because we're looking right now saying, well, man, I don't know, is my group in momentum or what have you? The momentum starts with you. Every time you point to anybody, if I showed you my finger pointing, one finger pointing at them, and there are 3 others pointing at me, which means accountability starts within. So I got to be accountable to say, hey, right now, if I'm looking to rally a team, I'm looking to create this momentum, guess what? I got to be the one, first of all, to step up and to make it happen. Because it doesn't start literally until, guess what? The man or the woman in the mirror starts it. Now, I want to talk about 2 E's and 4 D's right quick before I wrap up. 2 E's and 4 D's. And so hopefully you're already having your pad and pen available, because the think is to put it in ink, ladies and gentlemen. So first of all, what's that first E out of the 2? It's called enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is caught, not taught. So when you want to get your team on fire, you want to create that momentum and everything else, you got to be enthusiastic about it. You cannot be, or you cannot hang around somebody who's a negative, disillusioned, frustrated, daggone crybaby. People like that will drain you dry. But the first question to ask yourself is, am I the one that fits that mold? Am I the one, when I walk into a room, the room lights up? Or am I the individual, when I leave the room lights up? See, you can answer that question, but many times we're not able to do a self-analysis or evaluation to see, am I the one that brings the energy, or am I one that takes the energy? The next thing in that E is going to be effort. Ladies and gentlemen, there's never been a test designed to measure what's inside of a man or woman's heart. You got to give effort. That effort, is nothing we can do with that. That means that if you don't bring effort to the table, it doesn't matter how many skills you get. It doesn't matter about the script that you get. It does not matter about you plugging into an event. Guess what? If you're not going to give it the effort, all of it dissipates if you don't give it effort. See, here's the thing you got to look at, because some people say, well, why are certain teams winning, but I'm not winning right now? A lot of it is, what kind of effort are you giving? Are you giving it a 2 in effort, but you're expecting a 100 result? It's like somebody want to get $1 million, but guess what? They're not even coming up with $100 of it. So you got to literally put forth the effort. That's work ethic. That is you going out doing what you need to do. If we say patch 5 a day or talk to 5 a day, and you're going days and days and days and never talk to anybody, that means that, are you really giving it effort, or are you literally faking as though you're doing it? Now, the next 4 D's, write these down. The 4 D's. One is going to be desire. Let me ask you a quick question. On this morning right now, we're just kicking off August. What if you had to rank yourself on desire? How bad do I want it? What's your intensity level on really having some goals and dreams that you desire to make happen? If your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. It's not strong enough. So you got to have a desire. A second D in that is going to be dedication. Dedication. Dedication comes down to just like commitment. That means doing the things that you said you were going to do long after the feeling in which you said them has passed you. So when Verdita talked about the Robinson team, and I remember being in Atlanta, I'm looking at, Lynn and the boys up there, and guess what? When I'm telling them, look, we got you, that means that we're going to produce, doggone it. I don't care what nobody does. But let me ask you a question. What is your commitment to your team? See, in order for you to grow this team, in order for you to have an impact and be an impact player, that means you can't be stagnant. You got to have a dedication to a point that you going to show up. I don't care whether it's raining outside, because people do it on the job all day. It could be raining. There are certain people give you the excuse, excuse me, they're not able to get to a meeting, right? Man, here's the thing that we look at. We accept those excuses, and excuses do not count in the big leagues. So when we say it's raining outside, that has nothing to do with whether I'm going after what I need to get done. Well, whether somebody didn't show up, I'm not going to quit because somebody didn't show up or they quit. See, if a person quits on you, they quit on their own goals and dreams. My dedication is to the mission. My dedication is to success. My dedication is going to the top of the company. And when I'm saying that, I'm saying that's the level I want your thought process at. Because you need to be saying it to yourself. My dedication is off the chain right now. And if my group was as dedicated as I am, guess what? Ain't nothing gonna be able to stop us. But you gotta know, feel it. You gotta be able to feel it. The third D in that, we bringing this home right now. It's gonna be discipline. Discipline. You gotta be disciplined. See, it's not about hype. It's not about you getting motivated just by, you're going to hear from some other great champions this morning. It's not about getting motivated. Motivation dies out. You got to have the discipline that regardless of whether somebody is there to speak something in you or to motivate you, you are self and you're internally lit. That means your discipline is, I'm going to do it no matter what. I'm going to actually make my calls today. I'm going to actually show the plan. How many times are you showing the plan on a weekly basis, on a daily basis? Have you gotten to a point ever that you shared the opportunity 3 times in a day, 6 times in a day, 10 times in a day? That's discipline to make sure that you do it regardless of whether anybody else does it. And that last D is going to be do it. Don't just talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be about it. Everybody can talk the talk, but it's about walking the walk. So when we mention a cruise coming up, guess what? You already have to make a commitment and say it's already done. And I'm talking about D-U-N-N, stick a fork in you, take you off the grill, flat out done. Because guess what? All you're waiting is on the date to happen because it's already done in your mind. All right? See, some of you who are too, what we call educated, I know you got your BA, BS, MBA, PhD, JD, elemental P degree, and you got stuck on how I spell done. I know how to spell it. It more or less is, I want you again to catch the message, not get caught up on if somebody gave a different terminology, because the way most people say, well, 1 + 1 = 2. Well, no, 1 + 1 gonna equal whatever I say it is, because that's the belief level you gotta have. If I'm looking for $1 million, 1 + 1 gonna equal $1 million. What does that mean? That means if I go get with somebody else, and guess what? We put a vision together, wherever 2 show up, that $1 million is gonna be done. So in your books, 1 + 1 = 2. In my books, 1 + 1 = $1 million. How are you going to actually get that cruise done? By automatically knowing it's done. And all I need to do now is go out and grind. So here's the thing. I'm going to leave you like this, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to say many of you got greatness within you. And if you have that greatness in you, many times we're actually shielding that light. You got to bring that light out starting today. You got to bring it out and say, guess what? Yeah, I got greatness in me, but it's time for me to let it show up. It's time for me to act out of a point of what we call excellence. It's time to act out of class, that if I show up into a presentation, I'm going to be dressed accordingly. I'm going to be professional. I'm going to be that light. I'm not going to be out here using foul language or dirty jokes or anything like that, because if it's offending one, it offends the masses. if I'm talking to somebody, would I be happy if my parents or grandparents are right there with us? So guess what? In order to do this, we got to get to the greatness, but also you got to understand we got to outwork some other people. There are some people who are outworking some of us. We got the potential to do it, but we're just not doing it. So when the doing it starts to make up and keep up and accelerate on top of the attention, the potential that we have, all of a sudden now you got magic happening because you got the skills, you got the work, you got the posture, you have a positive, motivating type of disposition. So you're attracting people to you, and all of a sudden you become a magnet and your organization starts to catch the fire that you lit. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say to you closing out right now. This is Chris Oliver out of Houston, Texas. They call me CEO. I just want to let you know your future is so bright. Guess what? You got to wear some shades. So with that said, Verdito Monk, I'm going to turn it back over to you, I believe, and we're going to make it do what it do today. Take care,
Yeah,
be blessed.
I like that, Chris. Your future is so bright, you got to wear some shades. But you know what? When we get on these calls, a lot of times we hear things that sound redundant because we've heard it before, but obviously some things are not penetrating into our minds. So we need to hear it again. We need to hear it with enthusiasm. We need to receive it as if we're being spoken directly to us. One thing that I just want to highlight that Chris said coming up next week for those of us who come to the conference, I'm just being honest with you. Come in there looking professional, because that's the way you're going to be addressed, is the way you present yourselves, you guys. So we as leaders, we've already decided that we're going to always look professional, and you can do the same. Even though we're down in Florida, still look professional. Okay, so now listen, the next person I'm going to bring up, and it has to do, Chris talked about doing something, being productive. I want to bring up somebody that you hear from quite a bit, and he has a has a heart of gold. He is willing to do anything to help anybody. He is an executive director out of Houston, and one thing that he trains on every Sunday night is how he is signing up people every single week. He does something, this particular activity that all of us need to be doing. Mr. Z Kendrick, are you there? He's out on a boat somewhere, and he's out on fishing somewhere. Are you there, Z?
Yeah, I'm here. I am on the boat. Can you see me?
I certainly can. Now you look like you're having
Can you hear me
fun.
okay?
I certainly can.
All right. Well, listen, I've been listening in. I'm on the lake fishing this morning. As you guys know, I love to fish. And the reception here is depending on where I am, I can get in. But listen, a lot of what you have heard thus far are things that you really already know. The timing right now of us being able to capitalize on this incredible opportunity is priceless. Most of us have been looking and waiting for an opportunity our entire lives. And sometimes we miss opportunities because we don't recognize them, because they're not wrapped the way we thought they should be wrapped. We all have this communication with God about why, what you really want to do. And when you start surveying your lifestyle, it doesn't line up with what you think you really should have. A lot of that is because of the decision that you've made. LifeWave is a 20-year-old company that most people, 95% of people you talk to, have never heard of the company, nor do they understand about the opportunity. And I just want you guys to understand that you don't have to be a medical expert. You don't need to have all this medical background to talk about this incredible opportunity. A lot of us, we are so excited about what the patch does that we're leading with trying to fix a problem. This is not a magical patch. It's not going to eliminate or fix someone's issue the moment they put it on. And so what I want you to do is just make a pivot in your brain. And let's just start talking about the opportunity. Let's talk about a company that's 20 years old and no one knows anything about. There are people who you've met over the last several months who have gotten positioned, who have literally changed the direction of their entire lives because of the opportunity. This is a $30 billion industry with a B. 30 billion. And we have the blessing to have a gentleman who's running this thing, who is the scientist, who is the inventor. The guy has over 200 patents. So we don't need to get into this mode of trying to explain the patch. The patch doesn't need any help explaining itself. What we need to do is get intentional, get focused on the opportunity. Don't listen to all the noise and all the distractions that are going on around us that you can't control. You know, I know a lot of us. I had a dialogue with a partner of mine yesterday talking about the Walmart sites, the Amazon site, having our product posted on these. That's not us. Our distribution is through our internal network. The company manufactures our own product in-house to avoid having the integrity of the product being compromised by outside sources. So anytime you're having success, the underground current is going to always be moving. Rolex watch, as expensive as it is, as most valuable as it is, there are people out here with fake Rolex watches, but they're not concerned about that. So I don't need you to focus on anything that has nothing to do with the business model that we have. $30 billion industry. Guys, listen. One of the things that was important for me was to find another revenue stream that I could use to offset or complement my current income as a developer in Houston. I love what I do. I just don't want to do it that much. I don't want to do it 60-hour work weeks anymore. I want to have time to do this. I love to fish. A lot of you guys know I love to be on the water. And so I want to be able to have more control of my time and things that I really want to do. And LifeWave has given me that opportunity. So I'm really excited about where we're going, but I'm more excited about what this can do for you. LifeWave is doing everything they can to get our attention. We're currently getting paid 4 ways. They've enhanced it to 9. 9 is a long ways from 4. But if all you have is one person in your organization, it doesn't matter if they're going to make it 25 ways to get paid. You got to build your organization. How do you do it? One person at a time. Get out here and get uncomfortable. We got a huge event coming up this weekend in Orlando, Florida. Everybody needs to be there, locked and loaded, ready to do business. We're going to really become the dominant team in this entire global opportunity. But we need your resources. We need you to take ownership of your business so that we can collectively make this thing the most dominant business model we've ever seen. I want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your business schedule. I'm really excited about this next week, seeing everybody down in Orlando. We can do this in a massive, massive way, but it takes all of us to take ownership of our business so that we can do this together. God bless everybody, and I'll see you guys next week. Back to you, Vidita.
Well, thank you, Z. But you know, one thing, Z, that I wanted to point out, you share this every week about how you are very intentional about meeting people and giving them information so they could be exposed to this opportunity. Would you just expand on that just a little bit real quick?
I'm sorry, you talking to me?
Yes, you said, did you hear?
I'm sorry, I missed the question. What was it again?
Okay, every week you talk about how when you leave your house, you're always ready and prepared to share this opportunity with everybody. You carry cards with you. You're intentional about it. And what I want to point out is that when people are not, or people are locked up in the house every day just because they're retired or whatever the situation is, they're not going to meet people. But can you share how you make yourself?
Yeah, I will. Matter of fact, it's kind of amazing. Last night, we were closing out. We went and had dinner. We got back home, and we were settling in for the evening. And I'm getting ready to, get ready for my fishing trip this morning. And the power in the house went out. Turns out there was an issue down the street. One of the transformers had a problem. It was sort of stuttering. Someone called the order in, and the gentleman came out and checked it out and saw that it was on the edge of being a real problem. So they disconnected the power, had a crew come over, of course, to repair it. Took him a couple of hours to get it done. But the gentleman who came out, I met him, and I just start talking about what's happening right now in the neighborhood. He explained all that to me, and he started telling me that he works nearly 70, 80 hours a week. He's got a 7-year-old daughter that he really wants to spend more time with, and he was just trying to figure out what else he could do to cut back on some of those hours to spend more time with his daughter. Now, I'm just saying to you, wherever you go, now, I mind you, I'm in my own house, okay? Power goes out. God says, go out and find out what's going on. I find the gentleman in his truck. I tapped on the windshield. He rolled it down. We started talking. And in the course of 2 minutes, he had the website, thisisitinfo.com. I sent him a video from our Digital Alliance 101.com. And because he's right outside of my door, what do? I go right back to my house and I grab one of those envelopes I tell you guys about all the time, and I gave him some patches. You see, one of the things I realized is that I don't know how God's going to lead my path on a daily basis. Every single morning, I leave my home with at least a dozen or so of those insert cards that we use, because I don't know where I'm going to meet somebody who need me to have a conversation with them. And I'm always want to be prepared. And so a lot of you guys, you really don't understand. It doesn't take all day to do this. You leave your house in the morning intentional to do things you got to do. I'm telling you, God will open you up the path and give you what you're asking for. He has to do it because you ask. But if you're not prepared, guess what? It doesn't do any good. So what I want you to do is play games with your head. One day it's okay, I'm going to go out and talk to 5 people. Okay? It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter how they respond. You do the work. Just do the work. And then the next day, okay, listen, tomorrow I'm going to do 15 tomorrow. Okay, if you come home and you only did 9, well, that's 4 more than you did the previous day. But you got to set goals. And a lot of us are not setting goals. We're just living our lives every single day thinking that it's going to change. Until you make a change, your life will not change. And so this is an opportunity. It won't wait for you to figure it all out. You don't have to know all the details, but you have to at least make the effort. And I say this all the time in my training. It's not what you say, but how many times you say it. If you can really understand that, it's not what you say, but how many times you say it. If someone asks you a question that you don't have the answer for, that's a great question. I'm just getting started. I'm working with one of the top producers in the company. Let me get back with you with that answer. But in the meantime, take a look at this website, thisisitinfo.com. You don't have to worry about someone throwing you off. At some point, you're going to hear the same question twice. At that point, you made a full circle. There aren't any more questions that people can ask that you don't have an answer for. And if you don't have an answer, just tell them that. I don't know. I'm working with one of the top producers, and she's my personal coach, my mentor. Let me talk with her and get right back with you. But in the meantime, take a look at this website, thisisitinfo.com. I think most questions asked are found on that particular site. You see, once you understand the process, it becomes real simple. But don't make it complicated, throwing in all the things that you think you need to know. You don't have to be that smart to do this. Trust me, you don't. Back to you, Vidita.
Wow, thank you, Z. That's the point I wanted to get across, you guys. It's not what you do, it's how many times you do it. And then it's also important how many people on your team are doing the same thing.
Exactly.
You see, if it's not just about you, it's about your team. So you've got to train your team. You got to equip your team with the knowledge that is going to, and whatever resources, if it's a postcard, whatever, so that they can have some kind of information. But if you're not at least talking to 4 or 5 people a day, according to the Pro system, you're not going to sign anybody up at the end of the week. Imagine this, if you're talking to 5 people a day, and let's just say you go with 5 days a week, out of 25 people, surely you're going to sign somebody up. Surely you're going to sign some preferred customers. And all of this is going to pay off. But if you're not exposing your business several times a day, what the main thing is you just need to learn how to talk to people. Just learn to be friendly with people so that those numbers will start showing up. Thank you, Z. Have fun out there fishing and catch me some fish.
All right, I'm gonna go back to my fishing. I'll see you
Oh,
guys next weekend.
all right. Thank you so much. So
All
listen,
right.
there's a team member that I hope I got him now because he's in his car. I couldn't find his name. And let me tell you, this gentleman is always traveling to help his team. He goes, every time you talk to him, he's on a Zoom or three-way. So he's learned a whole lot of stuff that has allowed his team to duplicate. And so I want to see if Senior Director Jeffrey Payton is on the line. Jeffrey, are you there?
Yes, I am, Verdita. Can you hear and see me?
Yes, I
okay?
can. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you for having me. I'm excited about this because these coming weeks are going to be part of a manifestation of the things that have been spoken on by the champions that you've heard from today. And folks, this is not a game. I mean, get serious about what this can actually do for generations that are to come. Both Verdita and Chris pointed out the fact that, you know, when we go to these events, which this business is actually built on from event to event, three-way calls, edification, local meetings, especially conventions. This convention is so important to every single person on this call right now, till this is going to manifest all your dreams, all the things that you've been hoping for, all the things that you got into this business and committed for. And see, as we build this business, as we build ourselves in character, and as we support each other as teams, we have to think in terms of what would Ken Robinson do? I'll tell you, that gentleman, for him to have the weight of the world on his back, only given a certain amount of time to expand his life and still hit the top rank in this company, there's absolutely no excuse for anyone on this call right now. He's a super inspiration to me, and I want you to know that manifestation is the way that we get to where we got to go. Now, listen, each day that you wake up, there's certain rules that we have to follow, right? By talking to 5 people, that's a manifestation. You know, there's certain rules that we have to talk that we have to reach each morning by doing IPA, income producing activities through this company. It's very important that we manifest what our dreams and goals are going to are in our lives, but we have to get there step by step, incrementally. Now, the details in which ZR pointed out, as far as learning the business on an introductory level. In other words, repeating that over and over and over again. Why? Because repetition is the mother of learning. So this is all a part of your manifestation. If you got dreams and goals, write them down. You know, you want to see yourself. Lauren Stewart did a great job of painting a picture of manifestation, whereby you can visualize the things that you expect to get out of this business. Now, for me, it was a matter of dollars. You know, it made sense when I made my first $2,000 in the first month, and then I went on to make another 2,000. That turned into, you know, money coming in commas with commas on a weekly, and so forth and so on. So I'm manifesting the growth that I'm experiencing in this company by speaking dollars into existence. I mean, you got to make it clear, you know, to the universe what you want out of it. And LifeWave is the vehicle to get there. X39, Gina Merritt, every single one of these champions that have been put in place, you know, are the people, are the angels, are the angelic blueprint for your manifestation, especially to put together training like what we have, especially with ZR and Chris Oliver and Verdita Monk and Harvey, along with Reggie Stewart. You know, Ken Robinson poured in us the thing that we're pouring in you. We've got to win. He's a winner. He was a winner for all of his life. And that part of winning is what's important to manifest in your life. And you notice I'm expounding on the word. So think that if you don't understand it, get a dictionary, read what manifestation is all about. And with that being said, Verdita, I want to thank you for allowing me to speak.
Well, thank you, Jeffrey. You said
Hey, Harvey.
Hey, man.
you said some powerful things. Income producing activity. That's what it's all about. This is a business, you guys. This is not a game. This is a business. So we got to take that and digest what Jeffrey just told us and move forward. So thank you so much, Jeffrey. I have another leader. You just heard his name on the call, and I had a conversation with him the other day, and he's been around this industry for a long time. He understands what it means to win. He understands what it means to work as a team. And I want to bring up to the call Presidential Director, Mr. Reggie Stewart. Unmute yourself, Reggie.
Can you hear me
Okay.
okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now. Mhm.
Okay, great, great. Hey, first of all, just thank you so much for initiating this call, putting it in motion for all of us. I'm extremely excited. I'm sitting here listening to these leaders. I'm sitting, Verdita and Harvey, and listening to Chris and Z and Jeff, saying things that we probably have heard before, things that we know are real, things that we know makes a great contribution to our success. Now it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of us taking action. And I'm extremely excited. I'm every single Zoom I do, you probably will never hear me get on a Zoom and say I'm not excited. See, sometimes people miss that throughout their entire lives. What if you could say it every day? So I'm here to share with every person. We have something unlike anything we've ever seen in our life. We have to accept that. We don't even have to debate it. We don't have to try and think about anything we've ever seen because we've never seen it before. And you know what's so powerful? And I never heard this before. I never heard anybody in LifeWave say this. I believe this is the greatest thing we will ever see in our life. So when I look at it from that perspective, there's nothing else that's going to detain me or nothing else that's going to stop me. And that is the attitude I believe every single person on this Zoom needs to have, because that is the way to get there. And one of the things, and all this information we've heard, some powerful stuff. I mean, you're talking about people who have said things, man, these are geniuses in my opinion in this industry. Chris and Verdita and Steve and Jeffrey Payton and Z.R. Kendrick. Man, these are just ordinary people when we talk about business, when we talk about life. They've had challenges like we all have. They've had ups and downs. They've fought through them all. And that is why they are where they are right now. And many of you on this Zoom right now are going through challenges. But let nothing stop you. And I'm telling you all, what we have to do today is we have to plant our seed and our flag right now, because the end of the week is coming. And a new week starts on Monday, but on Sunday, on tomorrow. But I'll tell you this, leading up to Orlando, Florida, folks, you got to look at this as the trip of a lifetime. You have to. I think about the one thing that I think some of us kind of miss a lot, even though we may have the knowledge, we have all the information, we know what it takes, we have the right people around us, but you know what we lack as individuals? We lack confidence. We just don't have that thing inside of us that just kicks us. We just don't have the things that, extraordinary people have, but we do have it. And when we're talking about confidence, you get that from getting on all those Zooms that you don't want to get on. You get that from going to all those meetings that you don't want to go to. You get that from going to all those events that you don't want to go to, you may not be able to afford, but you still go. When you get around the people who are making it happen, there's no doubt in my mind what you're going to gain as a result of that, because you're going to hear nuggets and you're going to see people, and they're going to demonstrate to you why it is so important that you never come to another event like this by yourself. Why you never come to an event unless you have 50 people coming with you. I've heard it over and over again over the years, and people always, they equate going to these events with money or lack of money or not being able to afford it, or I don't know if I have time. Now, we have months and months and months and months to plan for this. Months. See, I planned for this 5 months ago, 6 months ago. It was already done. I had no idea what was going to happen along the way up until this week. I wasn't concerned about it either. Just like you all, you have things that probably you had no idea were going to happen. And some of those things are trying to stop you right now from going to Orlando, Florida. Folks, I'm telling you, you can't do it. You cannot allow that to happen. You want to find out where there's a ticket, how you can get there, team up with somebody. You all get a hotel room together. You travel down there, you drive down. I drive everywhere, so driving ain't nothing. We want to make sure people understand that this is bigger than anything we've ever seen. So we want to treat it as such. With that, I'm grateful for this team. I'm grateful for all these individuals, and certainly my buddy Ken Robinson, who shared this with me 2.5, almost 3 years ago. I am that person that you just heard Verdita talk about, Chris talk about, Z talk about, in that we're going to make this happen for you all. This is our responsibility.
Wow.
This is our responsibility. With that being said, back to you, Verdita Mark. Thank you so much, Harvey.
Reggie, thank you for such powerful, inspirational words. You know, Reggie, you always bring it, and you said some things that are so true. We do have to win, and we are here to support you all. And so I want to introduce, last but not least, my husband, Harvey Monk. Some of you may not know him, so I want you to see his face and let him share some words of inspiration as well.
Okay, so am I on the big screen?
Yes, you are.
I'm the little bitty thing. I can't see myself. Anyway, guys, that's awesome. I want to thank all you guys for taking the time out of your schedule to get on the Zoom today, because, guys, it's a team effort. It's a team effort. And as you can see, Chris Oliver, he started off, he's riding around in a 6-figure automobile with his sunglasses on because his future is so bright. And he's talking about the ABCs, and it kind of reminded me when he said Michael Jackson, because Verdita and I are going to New York to see Michael Jackson. So it's kind of how things go full circle. And Z is out there on a yacht fishing, and guys, you can see that Reggie is out in Jeffrey's out in his garden, and Reggie's out touring the world. So you don't have to be sitting in front of an office. Their office is where they are. And guys, what I want to say is that we have to make sure that Ken passed us the torch, and we can't let it burn out. We got to pass it to the next person, build our legacy. And in order to do that, you have to focus. You have to focus not on where you've been, and you might not be as happy as where you want to go, but enjoy, celebrate what you are. Whatever title, whatever rank you are, is celebrated, because God is working on us, and he's working on you. And in order for him to see how much work he has to do on each one of us, we have to enjoy the blessings that he's given us. And also, back to the music analogy that Chris said, joy and pain. Play that record, Frankie Beverly, and listen to the words. And that's so much about how this business works. It's nothing, you don't have to step out of your zone or anything like that, guys. Just be you and be happy. Do not, I'm telling you, one of the biggest mistakes we make in this business is we try to compare ourselves to someone else. You see their glory, but you don't know their story. So don't try to compare yourself to Steve and Gina. Heavy as the head that wear the crown. They do a lot of work to be where they are. And guys, also just enjoy the ride, because it's not a sprint, it's a journey. And enjoy the people that you help along the way. And also, what I want to say is that get to Orlando. If you're too late to get a ticket, just come down there and walk the halls. Mm-hmm. Be in the environment of a bunch of winners. You never know. You might run into David Smith. You might run into Stephen G. You might run into somebody, just like Z said. He went outside in the dark and brightened up somebody's world who wants to be with their daughter. So, guys, I'm telling you, get down there. And if you don't have a ticket and you're there, I'll buy you some chicken. How's that? All right, guys. See you at the top. I'll tell you what, see you over the top. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Harvey. I want to reiterate, remember, the purpose of this call was to unite us, to have us on the same page. And I think that based on the information you've heard, you realize the page, the same page is that we all want to win. We all are here to help you, but please make a decision right away. When you see those announcements tomorrow night, make a decision that you're going to help some new people become manager this month. Make a decision that you're going to start qualifying for the cruise. We've got to show up. We've got to have 100 people or more on this team to show up on the cruise. Because if we don't, it doesn't look like we are serious about this. And you know, Reggie talked about Ken's legacy. Ken's legacy he left his legacy. We have to show up. We cannot quit. We got to carry the torch, like Harvey said. So listen, you guys, if any of the leaders that have spoken already would like to say anything else before we close the call out, because you all had some great information. Do you want to share anything else before we close this call out? All right. We got Chris, we got Z, we got Reggie.
Were you talking to me, Reggie?
Anybody that would like to say anything else before we close it out?
Yeah. I was just real quick to let everyone know, you know what, one of the things that's important as time winds down towards this convention, sometimes it seems like it's right up on us. It's too, people saying, hey, look, it's too last minute, but we can't do that. This is it. This is our chance. And I believe that the person that takes advantage of this particular event, and I'm telling you, this is not on trial. This is the persons who take advantage of this event in particular is going to grow their business 10 times stronger. Literally, you don't have to wonder if that's going to happen. And I know you don't want to see the results because you want to be there. You want to be there knowing that you were a part of what caused this company to explode over the next 12 to 18 months. I'm telling you, and you want that to be a part of your business. Don't be talking about it. Don't be wondering if it's going to happen. It's already happened. Think about it. You're in a company that's 20 years old, and in 2 or 3 years, you see people earning millions of dollars. What are you waiting for? I don't even understand what a person could possibly be talking about when they try and justify why they aren't doing the things that are necessary. There's no justification. There's nothing that you could say, nothing that would say you shouldn't be doing this. Back to you, Brittany.
Thank you. And one more thing I need to say, if for some reason you're not able to make the convention, don't forget, it is being recorded. It is virtual, and you will have access to that virtual recording for 45 days. You can get some of your new people to your house, whatever, and you all can split the cost. But there is a discount code. If you go to thisisitconvention.com, there is a link to a virtual recording, and there's a code that you may not have seen. Please write it down. Next Level 25. That's the discount code for the virtual link. So if you can't attend, there's no excuse. You got to get on the virtual, bring your team members on so everybody can be energized, you guys. With that being the case, we want to thank you all for your time. We did record this call, and then we will see you at the top, and we'll see some of you in Orlando. Take care.
Bye-bye.